Hello, sweet friends. Welcome back to another Read Aloud. Yesterday I posted a book about Mortimer, about a little boy who would not go to sleep because he kept singing, and that book was by Robert Munsch. Well, you were in for a surprise because we have another Robert Munsch book today. It is called Alligator Baby. Now look at that alligator just as a baby. Oh my goodness, I think there must have been a mix-up. So let's see what happens and why does this family have an alligator baby? This book again by Robert Munsch, and the pictures are by Robert Marchenko, just like Mortimer. Here we go. One night, Kristin's mother woke up and yelled, "A baby! A baby! I'm having a baby!" Do you see her? She's like, "Ah!" Kristin's father jumped up, zoomed around the room, got dressed, and grabbed Kristin's mother by the hand. They ran downstairs to the car and drove off really fast. Vroom! Unfortunately, they got lost. They didn't go to the hospital. They went to the zoo. But it was okay. Kristin's mother had a lovely baby. Then they drove home and knocked on their front door. Blam, 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 blam. Do you see how the sign says zoo? Now, if you were going home to your own house, would you knock on the door? That kind of tells us what's going to happen in this story about the silliness. Kristin opened the door, and there was her mother holding something all wrapped up. "Kristin," she said, "would you like to see your new baby brother?" "Oh, yes," said Kristin. So Kristin lifted up the bottom of the blanket. She saw a long green tail and said, "That's not a people tail." Kristin lifted up the middle of the blanket and saw a green claw and said, "That's not a people claw." Kristin lifted up the top of the blanket and saw a long green face with lots of teeth and said, "Oh, that's not a people face. That is not my baby brother." "Now, Kristin," said her mother, "don't be jealous." Long green tail, green claw, sharp teeth. What kind of baby did she bring home? Just then, the baby reached up and bit Kristin's mother on the nose. She yelled, "Ah!" Then the baby reached up and bit her father on the nose. He yelled, "Ah!" "That's not a people baby," said Kristin. "That's an alligator baby." "Goodness," said her mother, "we've got the wrong baby." Remember, they didn't go to the hospital. Where did they end up? If you said zoo, you are right. That's where the alligator baby came from. So if they have the baby alligator, who has their baby? Yikes, are you a little worried about that baby? I know I am. So Kristin put the alligator baby into the fish tank, and her mother and father drove back to the zoo. They came back in an hour and knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. Kristin opened the door, and her mother said, "Would you like to see your new baby brother?" "Oh, yes," said Kristin. Now here it shows you the alligator looking at the fish in the fish tank. Do you think they have the right baby this time? Kristin lifted up the bottom blanket of the blanket and saw a fishy tail and said, "That's not a people tail." Kristin lifted up the middle of the blanket and saw a flipper and said, "That's not a people flipper." Kristin lifted up the top of the blanket and saw a face with whiskers and said, "That's not a people face. That is not my baby brother." "Now, Kristin," said her mother, "don't be jealous. Look at that baby. Is it a people baby?" It's not. Oh no. Just then, the baby reached up with its flipper and flapped her father's face. Whap, 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 whap. He yelled, "Ah! It's a seal baby! We've got the wrong baby!" So Kristin put the seal baby in the bathtub, and her mother and father drove back to the zoo. It's a seal baby. So they've brought home an alligator baby and a seal baby. Now it's interesting. Are they taking these babies back to the zoo? No, they're leaving them at their house. What are they going to do with all these animal babies? Where's their baby? They came back in an hour and knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. They said, Kristin, would you like to see your new baby brother? Oh, yes, said Kristin. Again, she lifted up the bottom of the blanket and saw a very hairy leg and said, that's not a people leg. She lifted up the middle of the blanket and saw a very hairy arm and said, that's not a people arm. She lifted up the top of the blanket and saw a very hairy face. That's not a people face. That is not my brother. Now, Kristin, said her mother, don't be jealous. Look at his little furry feet. What kind of baby do you think it is? Look at the baby seal. Having a good time in the bathtub with the bubbles. Oh, these are some silly people. Then the baby reached up with its feet and grabbed her mother's ear and her father's ear, and they both yelled, ah! It's a baby gorilla! We've got the wrong baby! Let me do it, said Kristin. So her mother and father put the baby gorilla on the chandelier in the living room, and Kristin went off to the zoo on her bicycle. She's like, you have brought back an alligator baby, a seal baby, and now a gorilla baby. I am going to go and find our people baby. Good for you, Kristin. First, Kristin looked in the snake cage. No people babies. Then Kristin looked in the wombat cage. No people babies. Then Kristin looked in the elephant cage. No people babies. Then she stopped and listened. From far away, she heard, wah, 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 wah. That's more like it, said Kristin. She followed the sound. It was coming from the gorilla cage. Now, was Kristin smart to use her sense of hearing to find her baby brother? Do any animals at the zoo make the same sound as a people baby? I would say Kristin is a pretty smart girl. Kristin looked at the mommy gorilla and said, give me my baby brother. The gorilla jumped away and wouldn't give the baby back at all. Now think about this. The mommy gorilla, where is her baby? At Kristin's house, hanging from the light fixture on the ceiling from the chandelier. So why would the mommy gorilla give up the people baby until the people give her back her own baby? Let's see if Kristin has a plan. The people baby reached up and bit the gorilla on the nose, and the gorilla yelled, ah, and handed the baby to Kristin. Kristin jumped on her bicycle and pedaled home. Oh dear, mommy gorilla was not happy about that. So here's Kristin on her bicycle. Look at her baby brother. Kristin knocked on the door. Blam, 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 blam. When her parents opened it, she said, would you like to see your new baby? Kristin's mother lifted up the bottom of the blanket and said, oh, look, people legs. She lifted up the middle of the blanket and said, oh, look, people hands. She lifted up the top of the blanket and said, oh, a people face. Kristin's mother picked up the baby and gave it a big hug. Her father took the baby and gave it a big hug. And her mother said, Kristin, you got the baby back. Good for you. Now, how did her mommy and daddy not notice that those other animals look so different from that baby, that people baby? But what are we going to do with all these other babies? Yelled Kristin's father. There's a seal baby in the bathtub, and an alligator baby in the fish tank, and a gorilla baby hanging from the chandelier. We should take them back to the zoo. That is a pretty smart idea. But Kristin looked out the window and said, what do you think she saw outside the window? Think the alligator mommy is missing her baby, the seal mommy is missing her baby, and the gorilla mommy is missing her baby. Do you think they're going to be looking for their babies? Let's see what Kristin sees out the window. I don't think we'll have to do anything at all, she said. Now look. Who is that coming through the front door? Do you see a gorilla mommy, an alligator mommy, and a seal mommy? They have come for their babies. Do you see the baby gorilla on the chandelier? Do you also see the alligator baby in the fish tank? And popping his head out from behind the fish tank is the baby seal. And everything was okay until Kristin's mother had twins. So look, alligator baby with alligator mommy, alligator baby seal with mommy seal, gorilla baby with mama gorilla. And look, mommy has the baby. Daddy is snuggling the cat. Now it said everything was okay until Kristin's mom had twins. When a mommy has twins, that means they don't have one baby, they have two. What if they get lost again and end up back at the zoo? What kind of babies do you think they would bring home then? Oh, Kristin's mommy and daddy sure are silly, aren't they? They're very silly. That is the story of Alligator Baby. Now, Kristin was never jealous of the babies she was bringing home. She was simply pointing out to her mom and dad, hey, that's the wrong baby. Where is our baby? I am so glad that they finally got it all figured out. Why don't you go and find someone in your house that did not listen to Alligator Baby and let them tell them, what did Kristin's parents do? Instead of going to the hospital, they went to the... That's right. And when they were there, the first baby they brought home was yes, that green alligator baby. And then they went back and tried again, and they brought back that's right. And then, after they brought home that baby, they brought home another baby that still wasn't a people baby. Tell them, how did the people baby finally get home? And what happened to those animal babies that were still at Kristin's house? I hoped you enjoyed our story. It fell down on the floor. Alligator Baby by Robert Munsch. And I hope that you will come back again soon and we will read another book together. Have a great day and take care of yourselves. Bye.